Hello, hi everyone there. How are you today? It's evening in Finland, so I will say good evening to those of you who are in this side of the world around this time, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching me from. Hi, how are you? I am so excited to be back. I have been away for a very long time, but I'm very happy to be back. Without further ado, I'll just get into it. In the time that I have been away, there has been so much cooking up in my head, and I can't wait to just start dishing it out. Okay. One of the things I have done in those times is to make my book ready and get it out. It's available in Amazon. But today, actually, I want to talk about something that has been really bugging me a lot, and that is the level of violence, especially against our women in Nigeria. It's been so terrible. I was just going to check one thing on my Facebook, you know how it is, and you just get drawn into this, and I saw another one today, which I was crying, like, why must this happen? It's too much. It's too much. Why is this happening? Many times when we talk about this issue of violence, especially against women, we blame the man. And I want to say this issue, it's not just women who go through it. There are a lot of men also who go through domestic violence. Okay, so it's not just, we hear about the ones of women, but many men go through it, and the thing is that they are ashamed as men to come out and say, I am being abused by a woman. And sometimes, like in such situations, even those around them, when they see this thing going on, they go like, are you not a man? Why would you allow this to happen? Why don't you handle her like a woman? Like that, like replying violence with violence, which is very disturbing, actually. That is really disturbing if you want to think about it, because that is a recipe for big disaster. But today I want to talk about this in a different, from a slightly different perspective. I have this story to tell, my story. When I was about 21 years old, I met a guy. He was a professional footballer. So he came to Nigeria. He decided, okay, this time he can use this time to like find a wife. People who come from Europe to get wife in Nigeria, that kind of a thing. So it wasn't a long relationship. It was maybe about 6, 7, 8 months that the whole thing lasted. He was an only son. He had an elder sister, and his sister had married at that time, had her own family. She was doing really well. He wasn't super rich, okay? But, a professional footballer in Europe, you can't really say he's poor. He wasn't. So at the time I met him, he had been playing professional football for about 5 years. That is his background. My background was like, we had nothing, okay? I am first daughter. I have now 8 siblings, making me 9. Altogether, we are 9 of us from my mother. And so there is a lot depending on me. I am number 2 child. And so I have 7 people down, including very young ones at that time that I could help. My father wasn't really I won't say he was financially really down to the bottom, but he was not present in our life. He was not helping, okay? And that was me. And then I met this guy. He was ready to do anything for me. I cannot lie about this guy, if not for this one thing. He was what you would call a perfect man. And his mother and his sister, they loved me. So this was somebody who was not coming to me to play me or anything like that. This is a guy who was coming to me serious. He was coming to me because he wanted to marry me. A good person. To me, he was good. He was generous. He was everything a girl of 20, 21 years old would dream her dream man to be. He was all of that and more. The family didn't have any problem. There was no sibling he had to train in school. So he could very well have been training my own. This is a comfortable family. The mother didn't need anything from him. So everything he had was for me and him to enjoy. And then we went on our relationship and everything was going smoothly and fine and there was no problem until one day I did something wrong. I will not tell you what I did, but I offended him. I own it. I did something wrong. Okay. Then he told me to stop working. And I did, actually. But that was my last day at work and something happened and all of that. So I came home. He found out what happened and he asked me. I told him everything. I didn't lie to him. And he slapped me. Oh God. I remember he had this beautiful dog. I think it's a Labrador. And the dog was I was just with the dog was on my side like this, that dog likes to cuddle, he likes to cuddle a lot. So he just come and he's a big dog, but he likes cuddling. So the dog was on my side like this and he was just standing like opposite me, talking and I was explaining what happened and everything, trying to explain why I did what I did. And then on my cheek, whoa, and the dog just jumped like that. So the dog jumping, the dog also kicked me because the dog was scared. So the dog jumped away and he slapped me. And he gave me the second one like this. When the dog left from the side the dog was, he gave me another one. Why? Oh my God. I just stayed there. For some time, I was so quiet and then the tears just started coming. He was looking at me, I was looking at him and the tears was just coming down my eyes. I was not crying because I was in pain because of the slap. The slap had stopped paining me. But when I was crying, I was mourning the end of the relationship because it was a beautiful relationship. It was really, really beautiful. I was happy. I was not tensed, like when you are a poor girl, you are entering this rich people's family, you know how they can make you uncomfortable. These people did not make me uncomfortable. They never treated me like I was a poor girl. They made everything right. When, he was preparing big for the wedding, traditional marriage, and I knew my mother was going to be so happy. At least she has somebody who can help. And the plan then was, of course, after he married me, when he's going back to Europe, he will take me back with him to Europe. So it was vast opportunity for me. And then that slap came. So I was mourning. I was thinking of all that I have this great opportunity with this person. But I knew that I would never marry a man who puts his hand on me. So at that moment, I was like two different people. A part of me wanted to stay because of all the advantages that I had to enjoy. But there was this part of me here that says, this is not right. It was a very emotional evening for us. I was crying. I cried throughout the night. I didn't talk to him. I was just crying. He cooked that night. He doesn't cook. I used to cook for him. So he cooked that night. I didn't eat. So I was crying all through the night. I spent the night there, but I was crying and everything. And he was like, this is serious. But I was crying because I was thinking of all the things, how I had planned, that how my mother, she will be so happy, my siblings will have opportunity, I can even help them go to school, everything was going to be all right, I never have to worry about myself anymore. This was going to be something good for my family and for me. Am I to give it up? But I can't be with a man who beats me. So I was in a dilemma. And he kept making me cry. I knew what I had to do, but he kept making me cry. When he saw me in the situation, he now started begging me. He knew. I didn't say a word to him. I think I remember until about 2 a.m. in the night. He was like, I don't know what to do. He was crying that I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do anymore. Tell me what you want me to do. Tell me what you want me to do. I don't know what to do anymore. You have to stop crying. I can't handle this. I can't deal with this. I've begged you. I've knelt down. He knelt down. He was crying. I was crying. Then I think it was around 2 a.m. when we just got tired. He was crying so much, and I started comforting him and said, okay, it's fine. I will talk to you. I'll talk to you, but not now, you know. And so in the morning, I made breakfast and we were just eating, we were on the dining, eating. And I told him, I said, you know, I love you and I know you love me. This relationship has been very, very good for me and for you as well. I was thinking that this morning I'm going to leave and I will not come back. But because of how you have begged me, I'm going to let this pass. But if you ever beat me again, even if it's like this, you do like this to me, I don't know if this has spoiled my makeup. I told him, even if you do that to me, I will leave you and you will never see me again. He swore that he will never, ever do it again. Fast forward, weeks later, I went to birthday party with my friends. And the party went into the night and we went home and I overslept. I had told him that I would come on Saturday, 12 o'clock. I usually come on Saturday, 12 o'clock. Because of the party, I slept and I went to market, bought stuff. By the time I got to him, it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was 2 hours late. And he stopped me at the entrance to the house itself. And there's this corridor and there was this chairs. And he was sitting there and his leg was going like that. You know, pam, 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 pam. I don't know if you understand what I mean. That's how his leg was going. His eyes were red. I was looking at him, he was like a different person. Greeted him, he did not answer me. He called the cousin, said, I wanted to enter the house. He was like, you stand there. Ha! Oh! I stood. It was just the two of us outside. I wanted to come and sit with him. He said, no, you stand there. And I was standing there. And the next thing, where did you go yesterday? In the night, where did you go? Did you see my cousin somewhere? I said, I saw your cousin at a party. I went to it was birthday party, my friend's birthday party and all of that. And did you tell me you are going to party? That was the next question. And I think I don't remember. He asked me a series of questions because he was asking me. I remember he was asking and I was answering. At the time I was like, what is this? Is this am I in class or something? He said, okay, I'm going to ask you this. What time did you tell me you are going to come here? At that time, he was still filming. I said, 12 o'clock. What time are you supposed to be here? I said, 12 o'clock. He said, hey, why were you not here at 12 o'clock? I'm like, I overslept and I had to go to markets and I have to get all the food stuff that I need and everything. And of course, I had to find taxi and everything. Only 2 hours late. And he was like, are you the one who is going to tell me when you are late, how many hours late, why is 2 hours so big or 2 hours is not big? And the next thing I had on my cheek was bua, and the other one bua. And his hand went to his mouth and his face was like that. He caught himself. All those anger that was building up. That was when he just got himself, when he beat me. And realized that, my God, I have done it again. That's why I was like, oh my God, I remember what happened the last time I beat this guy. And this issue of going to party was not even as bad as what I did the first time. When he did that, I told him, look, I told you if you beat me again, you will not see me again. He said, I'm leaving you. He said, you can't leave me. You need me. I said, I do, but I will leave you anyway. Now, at that time, I didn't know why I made that decision. I went inside, took my handbag. Of course, I just picked up everything that belonged to me. As he was still sitting outside. He was not angry anymore. He thought maybe I was cooking or I was crying or I was going to calm down. He didn't know I was packing. I carried my stuff, took my handbag. I walked to the gate. He called me. He said, don't go. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. He was like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to beg? Do you want me to cry? I said, I don't want you to do anything. I'm not going to stay. There is nothing you will do that will change my mind. And so I left. That was the end of that relationship. He would come and I would not talk to him. And that was the end. He tried everything. It didn't work. Thank God that I did not tell my family. I did not tell my family about it, about him. Because if I had, they would have encouraged me and possibly even forced me, because he would have used them to leverage me to come back. And who knows where I would have been today. Fine. Financially, we would have been okay. Then what about my life? Would I have been okay? I don't think so. Why am I telling this story? I am telling this story because we are always pitiful, and I always pity anybody that is involved in a violent relationship. But the truth is that you had a part in it to play. I know this is hard for you to hear if you are in a violent relationship, but you have a part to play. You have a part to play in being in getting beaten all the time. You have a part to play in it. Okay? Why am I telling you this? Sister, and my brother as well, because there are men who are also in that situation with a woman who beats them. If you are in a relationship and you are still in a relationship, especially, in fact, those who have married I can deal with your case a little bit differently. But girls, that a man has not married you yet, and he's beating you, he's angry, when business did not go well, when his friends mocked him on how you show up, he will beat you. When the soup is cold, he will beat you. When the soup is too hot, he will beat you. When it's salty, he will beat you. When you talk, he will beat you. Watch phone, he will beat you. Sister, and you are still fighting to make sure, because you want to marry. You want to marry because you want to answer Mrs. Because he's rich, he's going to give you money. You put yourself in that situation, and tomorrow, that guy kills you. He is guilty of what he did, but you are also guilty. You allow that to happen to you. You can choose not to allow yourself to be a victim. You don't have to be a victim. You do not have to be a victim. Get away from there. Relationship is not supposed to be like that. It is not okay. It is not all right. It is not normal for your husband to beat you, boyfriend to beat you. It is not normal. It's not okay. You have the responsibility. You owe it to yourself to say, I am not going to be a victim. If it's happening to you, I don't care who you are. Get out of that situation. Even if you are born again, let me say that one now, because that is one of the biggest problem we have. To be spiritual and to be religious, they are not the same thing. People of other religion, they are very religious, but they are not spiritual. If you're a spiritual person and your partner is beating you, get out of that place. Chineke asịrọkwa gị n'ụwa mmadụ. O nwere situation that you can live. Bible kwuru, if you separate, make peace. Making peace does not necessarily mean you come back together. Making peace can be, Mana, you don't need to be with somebody who will be beating you. Who will be beating you? Whether you are a man, you are a woman. If you are a victim, you have a choice to get out of that situation before it escalates. For whatever reason you are keeping yourself in that relationship, when you die, I didn't say if you die, I said when. Because if somebody is beating you, it's only a matter of time before they buy you. It's a matter of time.